City Pigeons, episode 106, the playoffs, baby. The playoffs, talking about the playoffs. Oh, man, I got to tell you guys, I'm super hyped to be here tonight. First episode of the new year. Anyone who's watching, can you just verify that this is actually working? I think it is.
Can you hear us? Can you hear the words that are coming out of our mouths?
We had some technical difficulties of late, but I think in 2025, we're going to do even better than we've done in the past. So fellas, how are we doing? I got Meech over here to my left. I got Rock. This is the original threesome right here. And then this is the crazy crew over here that we added in over the years. Look at these guys.
Oh, my
over
God.
Their own bar.
Hideous. It's a subjective term, Jesse.
I actually think
it's us.
I think you guys now have a better look than we do, guys, because over here is very bright. The background is white. My head is shining like a diamond.
Whatever you have to tell yourself, buddy.
We go over here, and just look how cool these guys look.
They do look pretty cool. They got their computers out. They're both looking at it like they're doing something.
So you guys are mocking us, and I don't like it.
Damn.
They got Randall in the background. Is that
Yeah,
Randall?
that's beautiful.
We will never apologize for
Keith
being
Byers?
beautiful,
Is that
buddy.
Keith Byers? Is that?
Yeah, that's epic.
Smart and beautiful.
All right, so fellas,
And
this is
fun.
the first time we've been together in 2025, and I see there's been some changes. Most notably, Meech is over here. He's got 3 water bottles, all right? He is clearly focusing on hydration.
I'm heavy into dry January right now.
I don't see any Kenwoods, which is, hey, no offense to Kenwood.
All that water looks like you're moist.
Meech,
January.
did you declare that you actually were going to do dry? You're in
I
dry
didn't
January?
declare it, but I worked on New Year's Eve, and I decided earlier that day, actually the night before, I decided I was going to do dry January. So I had like 4 Kenwoods left in my refrigerator. I bartended on New Year's
Bang
Eve.
'em.
So I took them into work with me throughout the night. I had a few right before midnight, ripped the Kenwood and a shot of Crown Royal, and that would be it for January. But I think I might look out for dispensation, like the Pope can give special dispensation during Lent where you can eat meat. I'm going to be looking for that for Sunday at the tailgate. I think I might have to go.
Eating some meat?
No, drinking some beer.
We got to talk about this because I think the phenomenon that is dry January has really gained momentum. And I think I'm wondering actually if the beer and the liquor companies are potentially considering launching like a counter offensive. I myself, and this is the second January in a row, I'm going with a moist January. Which allows me for that.
That's a horrible word, moist.
Not allowed to say that.
Come on, man. It's right
about a hydrated January.
Hydrated January. But it allows for the special occasions like the Eagles playoff game. Yeah. So here's my question. I want to send this over to our panel over here. If you're doing dry January, do you get special dispensation for an Eagles playoff game? Let's send it over let's start with Fink because we know he's an authority on this matter. Fink, your thoughts here.
No, I think you should just man up and be drinking in January or woman up in January for the hell of it. Like, this dry January is such bullshit.
I agree.
Listen, I did it for vanity reasons. I can't fit into some of my old T-shirts because my big fat belly is too big. So I'm trying.
Are you drinking a lot of sugary drinks?
What I didn't realize is when you give up beer, you end up eating like a bunch of cookies and shit. So it's really not working out for me too well.
So it's been counterproductive. So you've actually gained weight.
And I'm sick. Like I haven't gotten sick in about 3 years.
Your body needs liquor. It's telling you something.
I think the
alcohol kills the germs and the bacteria and the virus. The science.
Okay. I know that Mr. Goodhart is also master of ceremony. He's at events constantly. If you need any representation for a legal matter, please do check out the Goodhart firm. Philadelphia's best personal injury firm. No joke there at all. But he's constantly in and out of parties. Mark, what's your advice to somebody who's doing dry January and, you got to work, you got to go to Eagles? I mean, what's your approach here?
I'm sort of
you can't work and drink.
Sorry.
If you're going to do something, do it. But I actually think I'm a very civic-minded, strong citizen of Philadelphia. So I feel bad for the restaurants and bars. And so I think this dry January thing has gone too far, and it's actually a detriment to the health of the city and the business community.
I hear you. However, a lot of
small business.
a lot of the bars now have full zero-proof mocktail menus, all kinds of non-alcoholic beers. So they have counteracted that a little bit. So I appreciate
that's a good point, Tom.
The sentiment.
And those bars are only charging $11 and $12 for those mocktails, right? Not $14 and $15. So there is still good business to be done there. Anyway, I think we digress. when I thought about the prospect of a dry January, it was in the back of my mind that I'm feeling pretty good about the Birds and the run that they might go on here. And, I'm trying to like save up and just pick, my spots. Now, sometimes we've all seen that can backfire because you really lean in, when it's time to go, like, this is my day. So I got to make sure I can tell what down it is on Sunday. That's going to be very critical.
I will say, Jesse, I think all of us, and this sort of goes to the mindset of the Philly sports fan, which may or may not have been why this podcast started. We do organize our life around these games and these events. So I do feel you. Like, you hit January, and if I wasn't an Eagles fan, I'd probably do dry January. But it's really hard with all this NFL football and the Eagles games. And much like I come off the summer and it's after Labor Day, and I'm like, man, I should really probably eat healthy for a while. And then I'm like, ooh, but football's starting. And then the Phillies playoffs. And these sports just get in the way.
You can't do dry January and be a fan at the same time.
Listen, football's only on the weekends. It's not like it's a Wednesday night football and Thursday night football.
Mark's got season tickets at the Wells Fargo.
Thursday night, Saturday night, now Sunday, Monday.
I got to say that is the trouble with being a, guy like Goodhart. It's like, oh, yeah, I'll be fine this week. You're like, oh, Sixers Wednesday, and then you're in the Shift 4 lounge, and you're like, oh, boy, I'm going to need me get me an IPA here.
I'm not even lying. Monday morning, I woke up, and it's like back to reality day, and I looked at the schedule, and I was like, Sixers, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Flyers, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. It's like, oh, my God, this is overwhelming.
Living the dream.
I mean, what's the dry January for anyway? Like, is it just like to prove that you can stop drinking for a month? Because like you're either in or you're out. Like
for active
like you're gonna try to lose some weight.
Like I said, me personally, I'm just trying to lose.
It just seems like a trendy thing.
No.
Yeah. See, I don't like the word dry. Like, I don't like the whole concept of dry January. So, like, if someone questions me about it, I'll just be like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic, so I quit drinking. And then next month when they see me drinking again, I'll just be like, oh, I fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
It's much easier than talking about dry January.
It would be better. It would be easier to do mid-February to mid-March, right? Like, there's not that much going on in the sports world. Mid-February, post-Super Bowl.
Yeah, but can you tell that with a creative name for that? It's got to be like dry January.
Or just control yourselves and just drink at the one time the Eagles play on a Sunday. They don't drink for the rest of the month.
Which is what I'm probably going to do. Listen, I don't have to answer to anybody for dry January. It's not like there's a dry January council that are checking what I'm doing each month. I just have to answer to myself.
The dry January
Will you hold
council.
yourself accountable?
Yeah, so I'll hold. But if I want to enjoy myself on a tailgate day when I'm out in the M-Lot all day, I might do it. Yeah.
It's going to be cold. You're going to have to stay warm. It's going to help you stay warm.
Right.
Given the popularity of dry January, I think we should start a dry January council that you can actually, call up, you can get a membership with, and they can come and just narc you out at any moment you're at the Eagles game.
Some people come rough you up if you start drinking.
Count me out on that.
We'll get Big Mike. Big Mike will be on muscle for dry January.
All right.
Anyhow, we got a game.
So, we got a big game coming up, and we got some festivities going on that everybody needs to know about. I'm trying to figure out how to get our tailgate flyer on here real quick. Can you guys explain to them what we got going on? Meech, you know what's going on. Tell the people what's going on.
Sunday is, if you've ever been to one of our tailgates before, you know exactly what's going on. If you haven't been, let me give a little refresher. We start early. We'll probably be getting there around like 10, 11 o'clock when the lots open. But I think people start getting there around 12 o'clock, 1. We have Blue Monkey Catering coming. They have the best goddamn wings I've ever had. Like, the last time I stashed some in my car.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I'm going to. Last time they had this crazy spread with like hanging onion rings. I don't know how they do it. God bless chips. Mark's contact. Mark, I'm going to give you a second to talk about Blue Monkey and what they're going to be doing this weekend, because I heard a preview of this and it's out of control. Go ahead, Mark. Tell them what's up.
They're bringing live monkeys.
So Chef Scott Clark and Blue Monkey Catering, I use them for all my events. They are the best. BlueMonkeyCatering.com. He's unbelievable. He also does like these amazing takeout dinners if you're ever in need for like a fancy dinner that you can sort of fake that you cooked at home. But anyway, you should check that out, Fink.
Noted.
And but anyway, so Sunday, he normally does these amazing wings, but he was looking with the weather to have something that was going to really warm people's souls. So he's doing something that he's calling a piggy bowl. And it's going to be some kind of a combination of pulled pork, roast pork with tater tots in it and a bunch of other stuff. And so that's about all I know. But come down, grab yourself a piggy bowl, and let's roll to the Super Bowl.
Beautiful. Piggy Bowl to the Super Bowl. And here's the thing. I will say, when you do the dry January, you can literally feel the weight like roll off you. It's kind of crazy. If you're coming down and you're doing dry January, you just have the Piggy Bowl. It's probably going to, counteract that a little if it's tater tots and pork of some kind. But it's Sunday. You get dispensation from eating, drinking, whatever it is. You're going to have a great time. Let me see if I can pull this up. If I did this. I did it. Now, it's got us in the background. But here's our flyer for Sunday. Wonderful. Give it up for Jimmy D'Onofrio and the wonderful work that Jimmy does. Meech, shout out to Jimmy, right?
He's the best.
Yo, I saw this and I think this looks fantastic. I just don't understand it. Can somebody break it down to me, please?
Yeah, you gotta be familiar with what it's based on. And,
Obviously,
Meech, you go ahead and break this down for us.
I don't know.
You don't know. Shit.
So there's a movie.
It looks cool.
There's a movie. It's called Into the Wild.
Right.
Okay.
And it's a guy who goes to live in the Alaskan wilderness in just that van. And I
No,
won't.
no
I won't spoil
spoilers.
it.
Yeah, don't spoil the movie.
No
But
spoilers.
it's called Into the Wild. So Into the Wild
okay, okay.
card, and he's wearing an Eagles helmet. You
I
get
got it. Got it. Sick.
Got you, dude.
Was the movie any good? Did you see the movie?
Yeah.
It's good.
I might peep that.
So
Good.
a
In the
wonderful
movie, he gets attacked by 3 Green Bay Packers.
and he
Their
wins.
ass.
Cheeseheads. Okay, a wonderful play on the movie there by Jimmy. And in addition to Blue Monkey, we got to shout out Kenwood, as we always do. From the start, I just want everyone to know these tailgates are completely free. You can come, eat, drink, hang out with us if that's fun for you. Kenwood, from the start, has been literally showing up anytime between 10 in the morning and 12 with a bunch of beer and just bringing it. They are down for the cause. They're down for the community. So please do come to the tailgate, drink Kenwood beer, and then when you're at your local distributor, wherever you get your beverages, if you're not doing dry January, make sure that you pick up some Kenwood beer because they've been supporting us in gatherings of Philly sports fans
And if
for
they don't have
years.
Kenwood beer, ask for it.
All right.
Kenwood beer.
Now,
It's
we
actually
actually-
the biggest and baddest. I texted a few people today, and I got multiple responses from people saying, "Awesome, I'll be there. Is it cool if I bring 5 or 10 people?" And I was like, "Sure."
Yeah. Let's just hope most of them. We have this phenomenon where, like, all of a sudden 30 people show up and they all have backpacks and ponytails and maybe in sophomore year in
Your
high
inside
school. You know what I
ponytail?
mean?
Yeah, I forgot you guys. I forgot you guys.
I'll be
were
checking
serving
IDs
the
down there,
minors
Jeff. Don't
that
you
one
worry.
time.
We can't do that. We
I'll be
can't.
checking
We're going to
IDs.
check IDs. Just so everyone-
Ponytails, that's the giveaway.
Well, no, they don't. You guys, can I just, you know what I mean? Like, can you
Indulge
just,
him, please.
I'm pretty psyched for the tailgate, though. I'll be honest with you. The best case scenario, in my opinion, is the 4:30 Sunday game. All the other games are done. There's no night game, right?
There is.
There is,
Washington.
What's the night game?
Washington, Tampa.
Tampa, yep.
What's that weather looking like for Sunday, anyways?
It's looking cold, but
Little
not
crispy?
like as cold as it was this Sunday. I think it's going to be like mid 30s, but there are wind chills in the 20s, so yeah, it's going to be pretty
I'm
cold.
going to be complaining.
Yeah.
Soft.
All right, and then we haven't discussed this yet, but Fink, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I assume that you're cool to bring hoagies, right?
I am now. Yeah.
Get the camera and you have the choice.
Fink's hoagies, best hoagies in the city.
He'll bring 1 or 2.
Not even close.
Fink has always been a supporter. He's part of the crew, but he still gets these hoagies for us, and we appreciate it. We very much appreciate it. And then who am I missing? I don't think I'm missing any other vendors. We are going to bring some Union Forge vodka that Union Forge hooked us up with that we have in the back. We got some espresso martini stuff going on. It's going to be great. We'll be down there.
Is Betty doing crowd work?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Say it again.
Is Betty doing crowd work on Sunday?
I think so. I'm negotiating with her right now just to find a price that works for us to have her really take care of all the production. I was actually thinking we should partner up with the Next in Line, have some people come in and do some quick comedy sets. You know what I mean? Who's doing that? Is anybody doing stand-up comedy with
Great
real
idea.
comics?
That would actually be
That's
cool.
pretty
Yeah,
That's
fun.
pretty cool.
I'm in for that.
All right, you're in for that. And if we
I'll go up and do a 5-minute. No, I'm just kidding. I won't do
okay,
that.
but here's the thing. Meech has been Meech has been talking about it. He's got a routine.
Meech at the tailgate.
Meech at the tailgate. You're not going to debut that? You're not going to do that?
Not at the tailgate.
Meech gonna be like knock knock.
How about that, Sirianni? All right. Anyway, so yes, huge game. Very excited about this. It's hard not to be excited because there's really no reason to be worried about this game other than, and I actually think this is a good thing, right? We saw Green Bay last year go into Dallas after Dallas really had a good season. We were unraveling, but they won the division. They were looking great, and Green Bay just went in there and kicked the crap out of them in their own house. And I actually think that's a good thing because, like, I got to think Nick is talking to the guys and saying, look, you can't take these guys lightly. They can come in here and smack you around. You got to be ready. Now, beside for that outlier, I don't really see anything here to give us any pause.
Don't compare
Team
to Dallas.
Listen,
man.
team is completely rested. Everybody's healthy. There's just no reason to think they don't have the potential to go on a nice long run here. I'm not afraid of anybody at this point.
Nope.
And they just got to go out and do it. So, like, is there any reason not to just be super fired up to just go let it rip? Does anyone have any concerns that we need to get out here and address?
My only concern throughout this whole playoffs is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, just because I hate that team. With
Mish, I said this the other night when we were sitting around at Jess's house watching just some random basketball, and everybody laughed at me. For some reason, I was like, the only team that scares me in this entire playoffs is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's something that they have against us.
Just for some reason.
All right.
We always lose. I mean, listen, we haven't
Washington
played them
State
with A.J. Brown. It would be here. I'm technically not worried. I'm just saying.
Bro,
We probably won't even see
The
them.
last
Let's
two
be
times
honest.
we played them, it was in Tampa, and we didn't have A.J.
That's what I
Brown.
said,
Correct.
yeah.
Right. So, I mean,
Or Devontae or Lane.
listen,
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield at the link, January. I have a hard time. I'm just not afraid of that, man.
I think he's
I'll
just
A
take
lot
that
of things
quarterback.
would have to happen for that game to get
Yeah, that's
played.
what I said. We probably won't even see them anyway. But
All right. Well, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. But
Question, speaking of this dry January thing, you guys
Bring
are
it back.
sitting around at Jesse's house Saturday night, hanging out, watching games, drinking water?
no. Bro, I don't
partaking
know
in
what you're
dry
confused
January.
about.
He's the only-
I'm the only one
listen,
doing dry January.
Raj clowned on dry January, and
He's
I'm
drinking right now.
hold on. I'm moist as we do.
Jesus.
no Diddy.
I'm doing moist January. So I had a few glasses of bourbon, and that's the only time I've drank this year. So what I'm trying to do is pick a moment. Rock's coming over. That's a special moment right there. One time a weekend.
Romantic
boom.
moment.
This weekend. That's why I'm not wasting it on this. Normally I'd have a couple. I'm not wasting it on this. What we're doing.
What do you
here.
mean by
I bought
that?
these fancy, tasty,
I know. I
hazy
feel bad.
IPAs
I'm
from
having one.
Vermont,
I'm having
especially for you, Jesse.
You know what, dude? That makes me really. All right, you know what? It's moist. Man.
the
It's
haziest.
moist. I got to try one of those because I don't pass up a Vermont beer.
You didn't
straight
seek
up.
it out, Jesse. If it's
Straight
good
up.
with you, it doesn't.
This
count.
has now become a special occasion.
Back to the Eagles. I will say one thing that concerns me just a tiny bit
Oh,
for
yeah,
the entire
moist, baby.
playoffs would be getting out coached if we run into the Detroit Lions.
Wrong.
That would be the one thing that
Hold on. Let's
concerns
go.
me
Let's
just a
go
little
over to
bit.
Fink.
Dan Campbell is reckless. He's not smart on the field. He thinks he's a fucking genius. He's just a meathead doofus. He goes out there, just
Man
plays
Campbell.
by. And he cost his team last year in the playoffs.
I
And he
understand-
almost cost him again.
I understand that,
again
but
this year.
they have been very creative with the play call, and they've been scoring at like some crazy clips, and they've just been running through the league. In case you haven't noticed,
So
I mean,
the NFC North this year has played and beat up on the AFC South.
okay,
Half these teams don't play good teams over 500. Like the Packers are 2-5 against teams above 500.
okay, talk me out of it.
I had something else I was about to say.
Great research, Fink. You're good there.
That was enough.
And you're playing the number one ranked defense in the league. That's us. And I'm tired of hearing this DVOA, whatever these people are throwing out.
I don't know that.
Packers are top 5 in DV. I think it's like a fantasy term.
Some nerd ass
Yeah,
stuff.
like stop.
All I
it.
know
we
is
have
that
eyes. We can see
They're
on the
all
field.
scared. Every one of them, every offensive coordinator right now is scared to death of Jalen.
No one wants to play the Eagles.
They're
They don't
like,
want to
how are we
see
gonna
us.
block him? What are we going to do with him? The kid is an absolute menace, and so far beyond the stat sheet, and every offensive coordinator. Is
Were you out
terrified.
on Sirianni earlier in the year, Rock? I know we were all
I can't
discussing.
even remember.
Yeah, I was
To be
just-
honest with
I
you.
just want to be
don't know.
clear. I definitely was. And
Are you
let me say
worried
this.
about like being out
It's just,
coached?
it's just the emotions. The emotions run high, and then I see the creativity that they come up with. These plays that they run, like the guy fakes, falls over, and the dude gets wide open. They hit him with the bomb, and they do this. They go
Yeah,
backwards. It's just-
that hook and
they
ladder,
got
man.
some
That's
crazy
nice.
shit going
I'm not
on.
gonna
And,
lie.
like if we get into a shootout with that team, they're going to be at home. It's
We're
just
gonna
it scares me a
punch
little bit.
them in the mouth.
But listen, I still think the Eagles are. I think the Eagles are the best team in the league. Like bottom line, I think they're the best team in the league. I think this is a good time for us to make this run. I think we have a good, legit shot at winning the Super Bowl.
Can you imagine though if the Eagles play the Lions and like Sirianni and Dan Campbell are like both trying to, it's like they're going for it. Like one of them goes for it on like 4th and 5, and then the next team has like 4th and 7. He looks over the other guy and he's like, "We're going," and they just keep just making dumbass decisions to try to outdo each other. I mean, that could very well happen. But I'm looking forward to that. And I have to say this: the whole thing with the dome in Detroit, I think, is kind of lame, and it works. It would work in the visiting team's favor. Now, I guess you could say the sound, right? Maybe it makes it louder, so that could be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But think about it: a home game for the Eagles at the Link in late January, right? Similar to kind of with the Bills. Miami comes up there; they can't play there. Imagine if you had the Rams going to Detroit for the NFC Championship game, and it's on turf in a dome, as compared to could be outside in Michigan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I love. That's why I'm so bullish on the Eagles, because it's so hard to come in here when it's cold and people, everyone's angry.
Real quick, did you see the possibility that both the Rams and Chargers could host the championship games on Championship Sunday in the same stadium? They said they would have to not put anything in the they couldn't possibly do it because the game starts right after the other, so you can't hustle people out and put more people in.
Wow.
Within
I didn't hear
15 minutes.
They'd have to change the time or
For
something.
the day.
Yeah,
I can't
I
imagine.
mean, listen, let's be honest. The fan bases all probably have both hats at home anyway. You know what I mean?
You know what the other funniest thing? The dude on Twitter said this.
The dude on Twitter.
Chris Ollie. Like how old SoFi Stadium? Like 6-7 years old. The Giants and Jets have been playing in MetLife forever, and this has never become a possibility for those two teams. Like there's no scenario that ever came up to where they would both be hosting championship games.
Well, I was amazed earlier this season when it was the Eagles and Rams played, and then the day after it was the Chargers and Ravens on Monday night. And I was
that's
like,
hard enough.
how do you even turn it over?
Now imagine a half hour.
I mean, look, I'm not trying to see that because I want to see the Eagles in the championship game. All right, so look,
While we're on the subject, prayers up to my LA people dealing with these fires. If any of you are watching.
yeah, man, I feel bad. Like, I got a lot of friends out there, and everybody's talking. I don't even know what to say. I cannot relate to the idea
Just say
of
be safe, man.
like
Just
like
be safe.
fire, coming at you and possibly burning your house, and I don't. It's just crazy, man. So
You're powerless. There's
yeah.
nothing you can
be safe out there, and thoughts and prayers out to the people in LA. This got real serious. Let's get it back to
Transition.
birds. Okay, so we could sit here and analyze X's and O's all night, but you guys can see that done by lots of other people. You don't need us for that. We're going to get into the deeper layers of this. We like to take a look at, some of the unique idiosyncrasies of the fan bases that we're going up against, and God forbid they should come into the stadium and have to deal with us. And, we called the episode Cutting the Cheese. I know that's very sophomoric. My apologies for that.
It's like a fart.
Yep.
We're more mature than
Is that what that is? Shout out to Fink for being the model. This is how my brain works. I'm like, all right, like the Packers, cheeseheads, cutting the cheese. That makes sense. And then I'm like, what do I do for a YouTube thumbnail? I'm like, Fink has a cheese slicer. And then I'm on it. Fink, can you send me a picture of you cutting the cheese with a maniacal look on your face? And he's like, I think so. I'm pretty slammed right now. We'll see what happens. Anyway, so
Mr. Fink took that photo too.
Oh, did he?
So we had Pops in there.
How'd that conversation go? You were like, yo, Pops, I need you to do me a favor. Yeah.
I always hate to ask him to do things because he's not going to get what I'm asking him to do. And I'm just like, hey, could you take a picture of me cutting the cheese? And I'm going to make a weird face just that. I'm laughing just thinking it because I had to explain it to him, and he's just like,
Okay. He's like, all right, you idiot.
yeah, but
I'll
isn't
do
he
it.
familiar with this? Like when you record videos of death threats to Blooper the mascot. I mean, he's seen this kind of behavior before, no?
yeah, but I don't always think he gets it. I think he's just
He's just gone with it.
he's
like, this has to do with the
my son's an idiot.
100 hoagies that we need for Sunday.
Yeah, couldn't you have been like, Dad, I'm gonna get a head start on this cheese slicing, man?
No, because he knows I wouldn't do that. He'd be like, what would this guy say?
No, he'd probably be like,
oh,
is this for the 100 hoagies you're taking your stupid tailgate?
we got a couple orders from that tailgate hoagie, so it works.
Marketing.
Hey,
Chalk
Fink
it up to
knows
marketing.
about marketing. He's a marketing genius, and that's
That's
why.
my guy
he's
Goodhart
out.
too. That guy's a guy.
No, but it's true. I can't tell you how many people have come to these tailgates and have said, "What this beer is great. This is Kenwood beer." And then the hoagies with Finks, because Finks hoagies are not like it's not like
Gourmet hoagies.
Yeah, it's not like Wawa where you just get like the typical stuff. You can put your fixings in. I mean, Finks
No
got
soggy
stuff.
bread here.
Fink, what do you got that's got the asparagus on it, right?
You got Tony, you got
love
roast
roast
beef,
beef,
balsamic vinegar, sharp
asparagus.
Hold on. And people probably make the mistake of thinking, it's in the Northeast, it's not sophisticated. Shout out to the Northeast. But dude, this hoagie,
I've never made that mistake. What are you talking about?
this hoagie
Not
has
sophisticated.
Fink's hoagie in the Northeast has got
walk off that stage right now.
asparagus. Yeah, I know you take me out there. Asparagus and balsamic vinegar. Right? That's pretty elevated stuff. You can't get that at Wawa.
Deliciousness.
I'm just saying. I'm backing you up in a roundabout sort of way.
Can't get
No,
that.
yeah,
in
He
Center
slapped
City.
me a couple times. Going, I love this guy. Yeah.
All right.
Like, who would go to the Northeast? But if you would, Finks is great.
Yo, I go to the Northeast all the time when I have to get up to like the high points of 95, and I got to take the Boulevard.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've never seen you
Yeah.
at Finks in the
Just
Northeast.
through it.
What's up with that?
I go through it. You know what I mean?
You don't
That's
come by
the-
to see
working on Friday?
No, Rock, don't come see me. I was just kidding.
All right.
Yeah, I'm working every
Rock
day.
going for free.
I gotta get my
So-
hair cut on Friday up in the Northeast. I might slide through.
Where you get good at?
Okay.
Wow.
Things I don't do: get my hair cut or go to the Northeast.
Somewhere in
Anyway.
like somewhere in
You
like
do eat hoagies, okay? So I do eat hoagies. Here's what we're gonna do. All right. We know that the Packers fans have become famous for wearing cheese on their head, which is obviously ridiculous. It's a stupid thing. And I got to say this too, guys. I saw a guy walking in. The only person that can wear the big hat is Gilly. Gilly can wear the big hat and do the dance. I'm down with that. But the people who wear the big hat,
cornerback.
listen, wait, the people who wear the big hat to the game,
That's
like, can you imagine if the person with the big
No.
hat sits in front of you? Like, what's up with that? You guys feel me on this, Tom?
Absolutely, can't do it.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
It's just as bad as bringing a sign and hold it in front of somebody.
All right, yeah, with the sign, you put it up and you take it down. With the hat, now, if you got a cheese head on, I mean, that's the same type of thing. That's a big triangle.
I tried one of those hats on my son's basketball team. They like the player of the game. They give him that hat and they have to bring it home. Love
Cheese
it.
hat or the big
No, the big hat.
It's like the home run hat. I love
Yeah.
that. Mhm.
So my son brought it home, and it is the most uncomfortable, ugliest goddamn thing.
Yeah,
But it
can't see
does
that
look
on
great on Gilly.
That's it. Well, it looks great on Gilly because every time we're winning and he's doing the dance, you know what I mean?
Talking
But
his shit.
And I gotta say, the one time that we lost, Gilly, he was hard to watch. You had to turn that off real quick because he was letting it fly. We love Gilly.
I'm
though.
such an old curmudgeon. Like my kids' baseball team, they've got like the hat and the chain. And when the kid does the good thing and scores, they come in the dugout and they wear it. And they're having fun. So I should just be happy they're having fun. But I look at them and I'm like, guys, like,
Get off my lawn.
just work harder, be better. You're nothing yet.
They're 6 years old.
That's hilarious. Can you imagine? Mark's kid hits the home run.
Yeah, Mark
Wait,
has to
no,
be coach with it. This is
Mark's kid hits the home run, and the kid's giving the hat, and he goes, "Oh, come on! You're nothing! Sit down! Take that off! Focus! Be better!" Anyway, all right. So what I'm trying to get to here is we want to dive into the mind a little bit of the cheese lover here, and just kind of see what try to take on the persona of the enemy here for a minute.
We're the only podcast who dives into the mind of a cheese lover.
That's damn right, man. We focus on the important stuff, the stuff that you need to know. Okay, so here's what I have asked our resident food expert, who is one Tom Henneman, who's been in the food game for years and years and years. Started as the co-founder of Federal Donuts, and he's worked in a lot of different respects with like the Cook and Solo group that's got everything from super gourmet restaurants to really ground level stuff. He knows all this. So I have asked him to give us his cheese power rankings. I think cheese has become a bit more of a topic, a polarizing topic in Philadelphia. There are people who have strong opinions about which types of cheese you can use in certain situations. And so even though Green Bay thinks that they own cheese, we're going to do our own little cheese exploration right now, see how they feel about that. All right, so I'm going to send it over to our man, Tommy Donuts, to give us his cheese power rankings. Now, I've put very few parameters on this, so I'm excited to see where he's gone with it. And let's let it rip. Tommy Donuts with the cheese, the City Pigeons first annual cheese power rankings. We might have to come back to this because they obviously could change. All right, Tommy.
Cheese power ranking.
Now I have
really set you up.
I have a top 5, and I have one outside looking in just to make sure because it was tough.
On the bubble, not getting in.
One was on the bubble, and that one on the bubble.
Can I ask you a question real quick? Did that one on the bubble like a week out of conference schedule? I'm guessing.
Yes, but it's also we play with it a little bit at home as well, so it's not purely week out of conference.
You guys jump on me
play
for
them
saying
at home every
moist.
year, so it's more of a division almost.
Okay.
Which is why it's kind of included, and that is the spreadable cheese whiz, nacho cheese. It's generally gross, but it's something that everybody puts up with and everybody eats at some point. So that's on the outside. That's on the outside. That's
Okay,
on the
hold
bottom.
on. I just want to ask a clarification.
So the
Spreadable. By the way, meat,
like the cheese whiz, the nacho cheese, the stuff you dip in, that kind of thing.
Okay.
I lump them together because they're in the same
like
family.
queso kind of.
Like a queso, yes.
Yeah, it can coagulate.
It's not
So
really
he's talking about
cheese.
that easy cheese.
people
That's what I
love
thought he was talking about. So I was like, that shit's gross.
Well,
That's
you know
good there on the
what-
list.
but everybody loves it. Yes,
You know what
everybody
that
loves
reminded me of, though? And this was a favorite. I'm assuming this is not on your list. My mom used to always have the port wine cheese. You guys familiar with the
it.
port wine?
That's
Okay.
included in there.
That is
as
a
well.
dark horse sleeper cheese.
That is.
Port wine on like a Ritz cracker or a Triscuit.
Oh,
Now
so
we're
good.
talking. All right,
So
Tom.
good.
I
So
didn't-
wait, so you said cheese whiz is honorable mention.
Yes,
Okay.
cheese whiz and
Yeah.
like nacho cheese.
Got it.
Tostitos,
Yep,
queso.
yep,
okay.
queso.
Sure.
Number 5 is feta. I love feta. Feta's delicious.
Okay.
It's versatile, especially when you're putting it on a salad with the olives and some tomatoes, a little bit of balsamic, as Fink alluded to earlier.
Delicious.
Delicious.
I'm big.
Another
I
one
like the
we
feta, but I like
Another
that.
one we grouped in was the charcuterie cheeses. So those are all your bougie, your Fontinas, your Goudas, the Parmigiano Reggiano, all that stuff. All the stuff, if you want to be fancy and you want to go get something to take to a party, that's what you're
Can I
going to do.
ask this question? Did you just make all charcuterie cheeses number 4?
Yes. That's
Yeah,
why we
I was
lumped them all
confused,
together.
too.
All those like European style, the French cheeses that you can't
The stinky
pronounce.
Johns.
The stinky ones will be in
oui.
there as well, correct.
Yeah.
See, when I'm on the
Brie would be in
charcuterie,
there.
I try to find like the cheddar, like the sharp cheddar that's in there because there's
That's
usually
not-
some of
cheddar
that.
You're not
stands alone.
sophisticated, bro.
All right, fair
stands
enough.
alone.
The blue. Anyway, go ahead.
Cheddar stands alone. Next, we got another kind of combination. That's the Oaxaca and the mozzarella. Oaxaca is the Mexican cheese that they put on all the tacos, out of this world, and that's in the mozzarella family. So that's why I had to kind of put those two together. I don't know if you've ever been down to Claudio's, the Bruner Brothers down there on 9th Street.
Yeah.
Out of this world.
Oaxaca is
Amazing.
mozzarella's Mexican cousin.
It's literally what it is. Anytime
I'll
you get
have to check it
tacos,
out. I
that's
don't
what
think I
they're
ever
putting
had
on. That's what they're putting on there. Take a trip down to 9th Street. Go
Can you
south,
bring us
south
some of that?
Washington.
You've had that.
You've had
Are you
it.
kidding?
If you've eaten tacos, you've had it.
You've
That's
had
what
it.
I'm
Any
telling you.
tacos.
Yeah, it's like the white
That's
cheese
what
that
I'm
comes on
telling
top.
you.
What
Yeah.
about
Oh,
tacos?
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. My bad.
Next is cheddar. Cheddar is
Wait, what number are we at? 2.
Yep,
We're
2.
already up to 2.
Yep. 2 is cheddar.
Yo.
Cheddar is an all-time. It's actually second behind mozzarella in terms of consumption in the United States. But I think pizza goes a long way towards skewing those numbers.
Yes, sir.
Cheddar, going back to you earlier, Jesse, about the Ritz crackers, the rosemary crackers, all those kind of crazy stuff you get to take to a party and be fancy. That makes cheddar more fancy than it is. But cheddar is an all-star, all-time.
And I can only guess. Number 1.
And cheddar also kind of alludes to, that's the first thing people think of, maybe American as well, when they think about the Green Bay Packers. So what the Saquon Barkley of cheeses in my mind, which was a cheese that started into New York, but it wasn't until the family moved to Philadelphia in 1918 that Cooper Sharp became what it is and became the institution that it is. And then you have guys like, Danny over at Angelo's, and now you put it on the cheesesteaks, and it's a whole separate ballgame. So Cooper Sharp is at number 1, and I call that the Saquon Barkley of cheeses because it started in New York, but it didn't get great until it came here to Philly. So that's-
Okay, but I gotta ask a quick question. First question I have to ask, is Cooper Sharp considered American cheese?
Yes.
It's Cooper Sharp American. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so then can we say that number 1 is American cheese? It has to be Cooper Sharp.
No,
Cooper
Sharp.
Sharp.
I got
Cooper Sharp
hold
stands
on.
low.
Rock
American
is-
cheese didn't even make my, because when I think of American cheese, the first thing I think of is those nasty,
Slices in the-
Velveeta
yeah.
slices with the plastic, and just like you can't do that, man.
All
You
right,
can't do that.
so I
that
got-
would have been behind. That didn't even make the list at all. But if anything at all, that would have been behind the nacho cheese.
Wait, can I say something real quick? I'm just surprised because I have forgot to mention, and we talked about this already. We have another expert in this field, a guy who was just cutting cheese today and sending me pictures of himself doing so. Fink is sitting right here, and he hasn't said nary a word.
Fink's upset I didn't put his crumbled cheese on there.
Fink, do you have any thoughts on this list?
Good. I don't even know half the names of these things that he's calling up. I like some goat cheese, to be honest.
I was surprised goat cheese wasn't on there. Goat cheese is dope.
From London cheese.
From no provolone on the list. I'm a little surprised there.
That's good.
I got 2 comments, right?
That's funny because we used to say that when we were kids.
I'm surprised that
cutting the cheese.
I'm surprised that sharp provolone didn't make this list at all.
That's the one I was thinking.
I'm disappointed there.
I love sharp provolone too.
That's
especially on a pork
It's
sandwich.
only utilized, yeah, but that's the only thing it's utilized on is a pork sandwich. And
No,
that's
it's
why
on the
not
hoagie.
versatile.
It's on the what you call it, the Torsdale?
Yeah, it's
on the Torsdale.
And
It's
it's on your-
the only time you use those fancy French ones is on a board. I mean, like,
Yeah.
so if that's the case, the purpose it serves is, and if we're the other one I think everyone overlooked is the Pecorino Romano for.
Yes. Delicious.
I said Parmigiano, but that's the one I had with my European charcuterie bougie board.
So
that would have been included in there.
I gotta be honest, I don't know shit about cheeses. If you guys are like, I gotta get in the cheese game a little bit, huh?
So
How many different cheeses are used at Fink's on hoagies?
37 at
37.
least.
It's like Baskin Robbins.
Yeah.
So my other comment is, I think that this whole Cooper Sharp craze. If you would have asked me 10 years ago what Cooper Sharp is, I would have said I have no idea. It's Riley Cooper's cousin. But
Riley Cooper's
I think this Cooper Sharp craze is overblown. It's overrated. To me, I get a cheesesteak and you get American cheese on it. It tastes the same. It's Cooper Sharp.
Cooper Sharp melts better.
It doesn't taste the same.
Whatever.
It doesn't taste the same.
So listen. So I think the Cooper Sharp is a little bit overrated. I think it's American cheese. It tastes. Listen, I bought into it too. Whenever I get a cheesesteak now, I get Cooper Sharp on it because I'm a Philadelphian. I kind of follow the craze. But what I've done is I've gotten 3 cheeses from the supermarket tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I've gotten Cooper Sharp. I've gotten one that's a little bit more expensive than Cooper Sharp. And then I've gotten one that's just the store brand. So I'm gonna go bring those out while you guys talk amongst yourselves. And we're gonna do a blind.
What store can we
Let me
ask the
say.
store?
Yeah, is this from
It's
the Acme?
the supermarket.
The Acme?
Yeah. So we're gonna do a blind taste test, and we're gonna find out which one you guys think is the best. All right.
All right, let's do this.
So
And
I
I just want to say,
talk about your.
I think I should be eliminated from this. Number one, I'm
Can't
sick,
taste it.
and number 2, I got a Hall's mentholitis in my mouth right now.
Tom's gonna grab the cheese.
and I hope you're okay.
And listen. I'm gonna say this.
If this was pre-COVID, I wouldn't even have thought twice about coming. Then after COVID, it's like, you get sick. Should I not show up anywhere? But fuck it, everybody's sick.
It's probably just bird flu.
Everybody's sick.
It's probably bird flu.
I'm gonna say
It's that
this.
new virus that's coming.
Yeah.
You hear about
We
that?
haven't even heard of it.
Norovirus.
I actually have a virus that I got from the silent basketball that I ordered from China that is covered in chemicals, and my son is bouncing
Is it
it
the Wuhan?
right now as we speak.
I will say this though, before we start eating these cheeses, I'm just talking shit. I might eat this cheese and be like, damn, this one really is that good. But I
that's
feel
the
like
point.
it's like, hey.
We almost had an incident there.
So we got
Now that's funny.
everyone.
I feel as though I can tell which one is the Cooper Sharp based on the texture.
all right.
We don't need that.
We don't need that information.
Just so everyone
Let's go look
knows,
at it.
this is our
we all
set.
have 3
Don't hate
cheeses on our plates here.
cheesemongering.
So let's go ahead and sample number 1 real quick.
Number
Just take a
one,
little sample.
gentlemen.
Take a little sample.
Feels a little thin.
Did you hold it up and show the camera?
I had the guy cut them all the same.
I know what that is.
What's
That's
that?
delicious.
That's delicious, right?
Mhm.
All right, number 2.
Did you explain to this guy what you were doing too? Like,
No, he's like,
Can you
I
cut
got
everything
He knew
we
what
said?
I was doing when I got 3
All
different cheeses that were American.
Hold up. Meech, can you talk while we're doing this? Because people don't want to hear us. Just
We
tell
need
us
a,
more
we need a
about you.
palate cleanser.
You're going in on cheese number 2 right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all self-explanatory. You need the Joe Buck.
Just so
of
we
cheese
know what's going on.
over
Just is eating the entire slice.
I think this is a trick. Of course, I'm going to eat the whole slice. You kidding me?
there. Now, if it's 3 American cheeses, shouldn't you have some palate cleanser in
Nah.
between?
We're just going in.
I think this is a trick.
I do too.
it's not. I already know.
Because I think Rock still has cheese number 2 in his mouth when he put cheese number 3, and it's kind of going to mess.
Should
the
we eat
flavor.
number 3, Rock? Okay.
Yes, I had all 3 of them, and I'll tell you which one I like the best.
All right.
But I know which one I.
Can I just say this real quick?
Mhm.
I didn't find there to be a huge difference between any of them.
Exactly. That's my fucking point.
Okay, number 3 had a little bit of sharpness to it, I thought, but that all tasted like American cheese to me, and I assume it's all variation.
Because this Cooper Sharp craze is
Bullshit.
overblown. It's fucking overblown.
Cooper Sharp was number 2.
All right, wait, let's get everyone else's opinion before we go on. Hold on. Go ahead, guys. What are your opinions? I know this is, by the way, this is great content. You guys, thank you. You're welcome. Go ahead,
Like
thank
squad sitting here eating pieces of cheese like little mice.
weirdos. Tommy,
Tommy's the professional. I need
Yeah.
to know his opinion. Which one tastes the best? Which one do you think is which?
By the way, are we worried at all about the caliber of cheese from the establishment you got it
I got it from the freaking supermarket. Right? You sliced it right in front of me, man.
saying. Tommy, what do we got, man? You
You can't figure it out.
I mean, it's probably higher quality than the Cisco cheese they're using at Angelo's.
no comment.
What?
I'm not taking shots at Angelo's, man. Maybe I can get a cheesesteak one day. Tom,
I'm not taking a shot. I'm just saying they're probably
it
getting.
sounded like a shot. Tom,
What we got?
give us something.
I think number 1.
I ate all of mine, so I ate all of it.
Number 1 is straight gringo.
Thought
Is
so.
what?
Thank you.
Straight gringo.
Mm-hmm.
Straight American.
That's me. All I can hear is the kickboxing going on downstairs.
Tom's like,
All right, can you
This
just
is serious.
Yeah, can you say
he's
something?
really in it.
He's eating all
Say
of it. but
something.
He's scared of
doing it
being
with a
wrong.
rhythm.
He's worried about being wrong here. You guys got him on the
Fink,
spot.
are you ready to have an opinion?
One's American, 3 is the good stuff, 2 is the sharp, the Cooper Sharp.
Okay, wait. Tommy says 2.
2 is what?
2 is the Cooper Sharp,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 is the bougier stuff.
Okay. Jess?
I didn't find there to be any real. I mean, I jammed it all in
Just
my mouth.
stacked them on top of each other
Yeah.
and shoved it in his mouth.
I jammed it all in my mouth, and
like fucking Scooby.
Hey, Mark, you said 3 was what?
No, I think 2 was the Cooper Sharp, 1 was the bougier, and 3 had a little bit of a plasticky taste to
Okay.
it. So I'm going lower grade for that.
Gotcha. All right. So the results are.
can I just say this real quick? I don't know why. Like, God bless you for tuning in to this. If you did, right now it looks to me, and I don't know if this thing is even real, but it looks like there's 405 people that are watching this.
People want to know about.
I don't know.
Sharp,
But here's the thing. If you tuned into this because like you saw that we tweeted like Eagles, this and that, and like you're getting the cheese off that we're doing,
The guys are eating
apologize.
cheese.
Which is great
Like-
because no one else could taste it, just us.
I apologize. Okay, Rock, give us the
So everyone was right. Number 2 was the Cooper Sharp.
Yep.
Mark is wrong. Number 1 is the trash cheese.
Yeah, number 1.
you can taste that.
Number 3 is the It's what is it?
Bougie
Land
Gringo.
O'Lakes. Land O'Lakes American.
I'm the fucking cheese
You're
master.
calling Land O'Lakes the bougie American? What was number 1?
Number 1 was like the ShopRite store
Yo,
brand.
I
It was
thought
like
Land O'Lakes was like that buttery stuff, isn't it? Some butter.
yeah. So I mean, Land O'Lakes was $9 a pound. Cooper Sharp 7. The ShopRite $5 a pound. So bottom line is, all these cheese were very similar. You throw them on a cheesesteak, they're all going to taste delicious. The whole Cooper Sharp craze is just overblown. I believe that it's overrated.
Only some people are
That's what I
willing
feel.
to buck the
So
trend.
my only thing on back on that is Rock.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
Yeah, no, it's not
Everybody,
wrong.
everybody can tell
wrong,
the difference, and when it melts, it's even more distinct.
Have you had Land O'Lakes on the cheese?
It's not that he's wrong. He just doesn't have good taste.
You know what's interesting is I know this may be not even interesting to anyone, but I'm going to say it anyway. I actually have had
Like that
Cooper
whole-
Sharp in my house for like 40 years because my brother loved Cooper Sharp, so we always bought it. So like to me, it's not this like new craze. Like it's a cheese that's existed.
Oh, so you're a
forever.
Cooper Sharp
For
hipster.
100 years.
Like I don't
Mark's been
understand.
on this Cooper
So
Sharp.
is there
man.
more?
Don't
Is
tell him.
there more cheese?
Yo, you remember that
There's a
commercial?
whole. There's all types of cheese in the.
Remember
box.
that commercial with Land O'Lakes spread with sweet cream?
Here he goes with the old commercial thing. Nobody remembers it.
Hold on. B, do you have a favorite commercial of all time?
Yeah, I'm not telling you though.
Bottom line, they're all good. You get a cheesesteak with some American cheese on it, it's
All
going
right.
to be delicious.
I promise you, that is the last that we're going to
That'll
talk
be a
about
hefty
cheese.
roll.
All right, no
Can I
more
mention-
cheese.
I got my
mention the
chicken
playoff draw
cheesesteak
real quick?
earlier with provolone.
You
on
know,
it,
that's
though.
exactly where I was going to go. Meech is, look, this week is going to be like Jordan's flu game for Meech. He's sick. He's under the weather, but he is hustling to get as many people to pay
That
in.
was our Eagles
to the-
coverage.
He's got to hustle in to get as many people into the playoff John as possible, and he's going to spend all Friday and Saturday crunching the data to get the picks right, and that's what's going to happen. All right, Meech, take it away. Playoff John 2025.
Just a reminder, everybody out there, if you don't know or you would like to play, I run a playoff pool every year. It's the 14th year this year. It's called the Playoff John, where you buy a roster and it's 7 or 14 guys. It's one from each playoff team, and you construct a roster of 2 quarterbacks, 5 receivers, 5 running backs, a tight end, and a kicker. And you have to pick one from each team, and you submit your roster, and it keeps track throughout the duration of the playoffs. And you can win high weeks, or at the end of it, you'll probably win like over 4,000 if you come in first.
4 G's.
Then we pay down to
300 and what? 350 a week for the bet?
$350 a week for high.
But see, here's the
week
thing. You're
of that
probably
particular week.
thinking, if you're listening to him, oh, how does this work? Because, like, what if you have the same team as someone else? And that's where the weekly flexes come in, right, Meech?
Correct. Every week you pick 2 different guys, one in the AFC, one in the NFC, who are not on your roster, and you can only pick once, and they give it like an added challenge each week.
Is this a Meech special?
Yeah, me and my buddy created this in a bar one year
I got
when we wanted to continue fantasy football into the playoffs.
And what's really cool about the way you set this up is your number one thought is like, all right, I'm going to pick the best player at every position that I can. But then you have to recall, you have to also factor in, okay, I can use flexes, and like if I don't pick AJ Brown to be my receiver, he can be my flex. And
Also, is he going to be around after week 1? That becomes part of it as well.
AJ
correct?
Brown.
Also,
well, that's a good
Not
point.
AJ Brown.
Tom has a great point because it's not like typical fantasy, right? Like if you pick, let's say, you're going to pick somebody on the team you think is going to lose. Like let's say you think the Packers are going to lose, you're not going to pick Jordan Love to be your quarterback, right?
Right.
That's the strategy that goes into
or
it.
their
And no
tight
matter
end.
what happens, you put your $30 in. That's pretty much long gone. There's so many people saying you got no fucking
get
chance.
paid.
I've been playing
No
for 14
chance.
years. I've been playing since there were like 13 people in the league, and I've never finished in the money. So
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Well, that
what,
would be weird,
If
wouldn't
if you do get into this playoff, John, and you win some money, tip your guy Misha over here because it takes a lot.
no.
It takes a lot of
No,
work,
he-
man.
he-
I
takes money.
charge now, so I'm
They
not
take
worried
money.
about
Oh,
this.
shit, my
I
bad,
used
my
to-
bad.
Did you
I mean,
not
if you
realize
want to-
part of the entry is going to him? He says it very frankly.
If you want to tip me, that's all right. But
Tip the man
it's
anyway.
not. It's not a.
Listen,
He's
he
plugging
deserves-
in.
listen, he
He's just chugging
deserves-
and plugging into a goddamn
He's got
Excel
5 kids.
spreadsheet,
Tip him
man.
in.
He deserves all that money when he's hitting you up at like 10 o'clock when the game's about to start. You're like, yo, you didn't get your flexes in.
Right.
I mean, come on. That sounds.
And usually the people who didn't get the flexes in are all my friends.
Hello.
I'm really just saying that because nobody ever tips me when we do the golf pool.
Yeah.
So.
Anyway, if anybody wants to join, hit me up on Twitter at Meech1. I don't know, throw something, come knock on my door and ask me. I don't give a shit.
I'm in there.
Knock on my
Yeah.
door.
Yep. All
I'm
right.
there.
Well, playoff, John. I think we can get that pot up. You know what I mean? It should be like $5,000 this year. You know what I
Well,
mean?
it's the pot last year was over 10 grand, but just first place got 4,500.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Right. So maybe you will make money.
What's the fee?
Long shot, but it's $30.
It's $30 a roster.
Yeah.
No limit. You can enter as many rosters as you want.
For guys like me, she's doing $7 $30 parlays every day or two. You know what I mean? This is fine.
They're
$30
months.
is
I gotta
nothing.
pay your people,
nothing.
man. I'm sorry. I didn't do
Do you issue a 1099 with that?
No, I don't. Well, also, guys, Chili Bets has been on fire. I don't know. If you
Oh, really? Because Jesse Betts has been way cold. Can I tell you, my FanDuel account is down to $40. All right, Meech, I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Knowing that I'm about to hit rock bottom here, I haven't re-upped to my FanDuel account in a long time, but it sounds like I'm going to have to do that.
Yes.
What would you do, right? How much? How much would you put in there? An expert
That's a
like
personal
yourself
question.
compared to me.
Listen, I always try and put the least amount in there because I expect my first bet to win, and then I'll have an abundance of money.
So you put $50
Yeah, I
in
don't
there.
put 300 in and expect
Yeah.
it because that's when you lose because you're like, oh, I have 300 to
Jesse,
play
that's-
with.
Well, I told you guys
them
this
the other day,
real quick. I
Put
told you guys
25
this.
in, and if you lose that, which you know.
One Wemby rebound away from a $20 bet turning into $1,000. One Wemby rebound for that skinny
Wemby.
punk. Couldn't get one more damn rebound.
Wemby is.
He did that to me earlier.
My account's been sitting on zero for like a month.
He's very good.
And I just haven't re-upped. I just like.
I
keep
usually
going.
do Meech's bad beats if you want to get this segment out of the way.
Let's do it.
But I don't have.
You don't have one.
I don't have a bad beat, but I want to tell you a pretty good one that I had.
Okay.
This week. I was working on Saturday I was bartending, and
Meech has 7 jobs, so everyone
a
knows.
kid I work with,
Jamaican Meech.
a kid I work with. I was setting up. It was a real busy gig. It was actually
Jamaican Meech crazy.
Yo, it's hard.
What are we thinking?
Put it on the shirt.
Rock's the only one that can say it.
So anyway,
All
this kid
You gotta at least have as many jobs as you have
FanDuel
kids.
bet. And he's like, yo, check this out. I think you might want to bet this. And I was busy, so I was like, maybe I'll tail this motherfucker. I looked at it. It was a 14-leg parlay. I was like, oh, come on. But it was an all-day thing. It was football, basketball, it was everything. So I took one thing out of the parlay. He had Zay Flowers to catch a touchdown, and he got hurt like the first quarter.
Yeah.
And the other 13 legs hit. So he lost. And I
You won.
Oh.
$25.
Yo, that's a bad beat from him.
That's a reverse
And the
bad
good
beat
beat
for
you.
We're back, baby.
Damn.
Then I had a chili.
That's like when Rocky takes the leg out of your parlays, but that never works for him.
And then last night I got a risk-free bet, $50, but it was only on the TNT games, and I didn't put it in for the first one. So I was like, let me put it in for the second game. So I took a chili bet, $50, and I fell asleep because I was all fucking NyQuil'd up. I woke up in the middle of the night, checked FanDuel, bang, woke up my wife.
That's a
So,
nice. You woke her up?
Yeah, I
You woke her up?
woke her up.
You're like, while you're up. Too much. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, what are you talking
All
about?
right, all right, all right.
Talk about
Here we
big-
go.
you see the
That's-
guy who cashed out of 19
Yeah.
pick parlay with a
Dude,
$1 million
I'd
bucks.
kill myself.
That makes me feel a lot better
Yeah.
about my cash out.
Oh, gosh.
Gambling.
All right.
It's bad for you.
Yeah, you know what? You guys
We'll
were.
come up something as a conglomerate on Sunday during the tailgate, and I'll tweet it out over the City Pigeons.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We're looking for something to do. I did hear of people who were getting FanDuel parlays for Christmas, like in their stockings and stuff. Or has that become a thing?
It's
Because
fantastic.
I need that.
a
Like
great
someone, I
idea.
wish I got a FanDuel gift card.
My homie Blake, fan of the show, his wife got him
Big
a
fan, big
FanDuel gift card for Christmas.
That's just
Yeah,
legendary.
that would be a good gift.
It's just legendary, dude.
Sounds like a white elephant next year.
We love that. Yeah. Well, wasn't you were thinking?
I was thinking that, but then it came up.
Speaking of
and-
which, if you
see
guys
it.
notice,
Yep.
I have the P10 out and ready to go to load into the truck.
I peed in it earlier.
I shit in it earlier.
Rock, you know, we didn't need that. We didn't need that. Now here's my question.
Just kidding.
We went to
Shit
the
in it.
we went to the
Yes, sir.
Cowboys game with a group of friends, and Rock showed up with a bucket. I'm not quite sure why. Rock, was that the bucket that goes with the P10, or was that a separate
I
bucket?
left it down there.
You left it at the stadium.
Yeah.
It's still
geez.
down there.
Do you
It
have
was,
it?
just, it was just a bucket to sit on. I just wanted to sit down because I thought we were going to be standing in the middle
Okay,
of the
but let me
parking
ask you a
lot for
question. You
couple hours.
carried a bucket onto the subway just so you could sit on it?
Yes.
That's-
People looking
that's
at
a
you
vibe.
weird?
He was playing.
Nobody was looking at me. It was strange at all.
He was
People
playing
probably-
drums on it like that dude in the old Mariah Carey video.
Yeah, exactly. Nah, I mean, this is what happened. We went to the Dallas Cowboys game. We had no good tailgate plan. We were like, we're just going to go
Right.
stand around.
Yeah, we did.
And I was like, well, I don't want to stand around for 2 hours. I at least want to sit down. So I bought an empty, 5-gallon bucket. And I was like, if I get tired, I can sit on it. I
That's
put my
hilarious.
beers in it on the sub, and that was it.
Yeah, it's quality, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. But here's my question, guys. We have the P10. Is there a bucket? Mark, do you know where the bucket is?
I don't. It's not my gift.
I could get a bucket for Sunday.
We'll get a bucket.
Yeah,
I got a
we'll
pick.
I mean,
I got
it
picture
should be in the
buckets
back.
at this.
Let me say this.
Yeah, I get them
Bucket
for
should
my
be in the
eyes.
back.
Even if we just have the tent, that's an improvement because most
There's
people.
a bucket right there. What are you
Okay,
talking about?
great.
Yeah, I see
There's
it.
the bucket.
I'm
Most
gonna be
people just
sleeping
go
in that thing
so
to
here's
get
the
away
thing.
from the cold.
Most people will go up to my truck and be like, "Yo, can I pee again?" And I'm like, "Cool." And then I realize it's splattering
pee all
all
over
over
the
it.
I was peeing inside the truck last time. I was just like,
He's peeing in the glove box.
I-
message.
everyone was opening the doors. I didn't know they were going there. I was like,
The real question is, do we still have the Kurt Schilling photo to put inside the P10? I guess
Bucket-
not.
In the bucket.
He doesn't like.
That's
Kurt
always a
Schilling.
nice touch in the urinals at Citizens Bank Park during the playoffs.
I think we have to line the
other
inside of the
team's
bucket up
baseball
with
cards in there.
Packers players.
Yeah.
Pictures.
with
cheese.
with different cheeses.
Instead of urinal cakes, it'll just be little pieces of cheese.
We'll bring the cheese
Okay.
from tonight and just throw it in the bucket. And everyone.
But my
has to
point
just-
was,
there you go.
even if we had a tent with no bucket in it, that's an improvement. Because you could stand in that and pee, and you'd have some privacy.
You're splashing all over yourself.
Yeah, I'm pooping in the bucket.
Who's going to take care of the bucket at the end?
You leave it there.
Or you just
bro.
leave it.
That's just
Yeah.
I mean, don't you leave the tent too?
no.
Whoa.
The tent? What
Oh,
are
you
you
take-
peeing on the tent?
I don't know. I'm just like, all right. If the
Can I ask
tent's
you a
going,
question, man? Are
if
you
the
going to be in
tent's
this?
going in the
Yo,
truck, the tent's
are you
going
going to
in
be in
the
this
truck?
tent, like spraying the fire hose around on the walls of the? Come on. What are we talking about? It's pathetic.
I didn't
Have
know-
some tailgate decorum. That is just whacked. Okay.
So I have the Eagles winning 31-17 on Sunday.
30, you're generous.
All right.
Just so
You
you guys
think the
know.
Packers are going to score 17 points?
27-10.
Good luck,
Well,
And that's being
I think-
generous.
2 touchdowns and a field goal.
24-3.
Listen, the Eagles are giving up
38-7.
17.8 points a game. So 17, that does make sense.
By the numbers, you
You know,
know.
I haven't thought for a second about the actual score of the game. I feel confident the Eagles will win. I'm going to go 24-10, which is just probably lame because it just sounds like a round number. But the Eagles are going to win by a touchdown plus. What's the line now? What's the line up to?
5.5.
Right,
4.5,
it really
something like that.
really came up a lot.
Pounding it. I'm pounding it.
Taking it to pound town.
That line, you dirty little line. You.
Now we're getting somewhere. Now we are getting
Give it
somewhere.
some cheese. Be nice to it.
All right.
32-13.
Okay, so here's the deal. Tailgate on
That's right,
Sunday.
Tail.
Tell
Birds of a feather. Wild card round tailgate. We're in M lot. It's kind of like actually on the. It's technically an O lot, but you just go to M lot. You look up. We're right there. You can't miss it. Nobody
And
knows
our
where
perch.
O lot is. We have
Pigeons
a
on
perch
our
there. If anyone else tries to take that spot, we're obviously gonna have to fight them.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully, you guys get there early enough to support me in that.
By
effort.
us, we mean Big Mike.
Yeah, and Mark is committed to being in the truck with me nice and early. Any of you guys that want to come down, Meach was there bright and early last time. I mean, we're going to have a day. So if you want to come down, hang
Yeah,
out
I'm
in the
like
parking
getting
lot.
stuck in traffic. I'll be there early.
You want to come down, hang out in the parking lot with us at 10, 11 o'clock, we'll be there.
I got to be honest. I'm ready to go down there right now.
Yeah,
Ooh,
let's
I
go.
yo.
am fucking fired up for this.
These
game.
weeks are really long.
I
I
was
was so close to saying let's do it, and I was just like, damn, it's cold outside. I'll see you guys down there on Sunday.
All right, so
I'll
we,
get my lawn
we do have
on.
we got a couple days to get through. Sunday is going to be legit. This is we're going to have a great time. Please come down and see us. We'll be back next week to react to whatever happens in the game. Obviously, we're planning on having another episode leading into the next round, and who knows if we're not too exhausted from doing this one, maybe we'll run it back the next Sunday.
Hell
I don't
yes.
really know. Go ahead, Rock. What are you trying to tell me?
Great story.
No
Rock.
secrets.
Oh, you know what? He made a good point.
I need to hear this.
Okay,
I need to hear this.
I'm sorry. He made a good point because we got like a couple minutes left, and we don't have really.
I got to hear this. I'm
All
sorry.
right. We forgot a topic that we wanted to address. Okay, so do come see us for the tailgate. We're going to spend another 5 minutes here because we got to get into something that is kind of unique for the Philadelphia area. Now, I sent this to Fink earlier. He didn't seem to understand why it was particularly relevant to him. So I'm looking for an authority real quick to give me the insider's perspective on why the game coming up tomorrow night between the Irish
What game?
and Penn State is such a big deal in Northeast
Fraud fan
Philadelphia.
base versus another
Now,
fraud
now here's
fan
the
base.
question I have for you first. Fink, this is the question I got to ask you, and I don't know the answer to this. I think I know the answer to this. Do you have a leprechaun tattoo on your leg?
Nope, but I got it right here. No, I'm kidding. I do not have. I feel like I do have a buddy though who does have one. Shout
Okay,
out my
that's
boy
okay.
Donnelly. I don't have one.
buddy.
Okay.
Maybe 2.
All right. So can you just? I know you didn't understand why I thought you were you were the authority on this, but this seems to be a big deal here. We got the Irish going up against Penn State.
I just
We
feel
are.
like it might be more the older generations because
Yeah,
like
it's like the same reason that people rooted for the Cowboys in the 70s and then are still Cowboys fans today. People got caught up in that Notre Dame, Joe Montana shit, and
Rudy sucks.
I don't even think they got caught up in Rudy. It was
No, I was just saying, I just
the
went to
other-
state.
the
The other thing
it's
is
the mystique and the Catholic.
the Catholic thing is
Yes, all of
Insurmountable.
Northeast in Mayfair and shit is it's all Irish Catholic. So they just adopt Notre Dame as their look. Nobody
And then-
went there.
and then-
They don't know anyone that
And
went
then
there.
the Penn
They
State
probably don't even
fans.
know where Notre Dame is, right?
Isn't it sort of like a white person thing against the world?
Keith is on his way
Oh
Well,
shit!
that's the one
Keith's
keep
a Penn
away.
State guy, though.
Is he Keith? Are you Penn State?
Pretty
I
sure.
think you are. We are.
But the Penn State thing,
Keith
like,
is
and
Penn
a lot,
State. No way Keith is in
a
Notre
lot of the
Dame
Penn
guy.
State fans in the area in the Northeast too. It's always because they know somebody who went to Penn State.
I went to Penn State.
Yeah, sure.
I know somebody who
I
went
went
to Penn
to-
State.
Penn
I went
State
to Penn
Berks?
State Abington for
Okay,
one
there you go.
semester.
Doesn't count.
I respect that. If you went
Does
to
not count.
something like
I
that,
had,
but
I
then
had 3 classes. One of them was basketball. I would cut the other 2 classes and just go to basketball.
And then he started
was a
smoking
class at
Newports and he
Penn
had to
State.
come back
Wow.
with the Nukes out back.
So wait.
I was at
Those
the
little
Temple
stronger
Penn
than
State
Nukes,
game when
yes.
Temple beat Penn State.
So think, is your homie with the Notre Dame tattoo? Is he a Notre Dame fan, or are you just a fan of the Irish
Notre
the
Dame,
logo?
Notre Dame fan.
Why
I
is
got
he a Notre Dame fan? I
had a buddy in
I'm
high
sure
school.
Irish.
Because he's Irish Catholic.
Irish Catholic, yes. Period.
Does
I
he
had
know
a
where
buddy
Notre
in high
Dame
school.
is?
He's got the
He
Notre
knows what
Dame
Notre
guy
Dame. He
kicking a
goes to a
soccer
couple games.
ball.
I'll give him that, but not any games in
So-
Notre Dame.
So Rocky, to bring it full circle, Notre Dame is WAF.
It is wacky.
There's one person who went to Notre Dame in Northeast, and that's Marty Lippincott, national championship football team. He's the only Northeast person who I know who went.
What about
Holtz?
You guys are sleeping on Rocket Ishmael. He was the shit.
Yes.
People I know in the Northeast.
Right.
But those teams were at least cool.
It's like a Irish Catholic rite of passage. You
We
gotta
like
be a
the
Notre
color.
Dame
We like the
fan.
colors. That's why we root for
Because it's
the
not just a
Cowboys
Northeast thing; it's
because
also
they're
a
good.
Roxborough. It's heavy in Roxborough area.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
You know history.
it's
It's
Irish
Catholic.
Delco, Roxborough,
Delco, yeah.
the north, the far northeast.
Yeah, I got it. It's so corny.
People
man.
that
But
go
you
on
said
the
it's an older
Erin
generation
Express
thing.
are the same people who root for Notre Dame. If you
Said what? I missed that.
people that go on the Erin Express, you know what the Erin Express
Yeah.
is?
Shamrock Shuttle.
Shamrock Shuttle.
St. Patty's Day.
All right.
Generally.
I know St. Patty's Day.
But the people who are way into St. Patty's Day and
Yeah.
celebrate it,
Yeah.
those are the same people who root for Notre Dame.
now, how far removed are these people from their true Irish heritage? Like
Fucking
Very far.
They're not.
7 generations.
Very far.
Got it.
Very far.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
But they
curious
live with
about this
it.
whole
But then
thing.
so you have all the Northeast people who are Irish Catholic, who are Notre
Yeah.
Dame fans, and you have everybody who knows someone who went to Penn State.
Like
Yeah,
Keith,
it's
it's
Penn
just-
State.
Keith said, I did not go there, but I'm a big college football fan.
Which
I
makes
don't
me
know,
think
Keith.
that Keith is rooting for Notre Dame, and that's a shock.
No,
to me.
No, I think he's saying Penn State.
I think Keith's been to Beaver Stadium. I think I've seen photos, maybe.
Well,
I respect that more too, because a lot of people who are
That's
fans,
more than Meach could
they
say.
don't
He
even
just
go
went
to,
to the
like, they don't even
Abington.
say 3
I've been
hours
to Beaver
away.
Stadium.
They just
Drive,
they just
grow up.
Like when
I
I
did go to Maine a couple times. Both my sisters went to Penn State.
when I think about these like
You
Notre
are.
Dame fans, I think of
so
like,
wait, you know someone from Penn State?
Yeah, my two sisters.
Yeah. Oh, I respect that a lot
Exactly.
more. I respect that a lot more than my cousin Betsy's.
There you go. See, that's my
Yeah,
dog.
that's
Keith.
actually
Yeah,
what
yeah,
it
yeah.
is. See?
Like I couldn't stand my sisters, so I'd root for the Hurricanes just to piss them off.
Okay, here we go. Keith says, nah, I hate Notre Dame.
There you go. See, I knew Keith was a real
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Sylvia pulling for the Italianos with the we are. I will say, separating all of these sort of religious, racial, neighborhood things as just a pure college football historian. The Notre Dame Penn State game tomorrow is an amazing historical matchup. It is 2 of the sort of classic programs. I will say that.
Yeah. It's a tradition. It's like
Blue Bloods
Listen.
for sure, but neither one of them has been uber relevant for a long
No,
time.
but that's why it's actually
But it's-
super cool because it's it's a big deal. It's
Yeah.
the semifinals, and
Look.
it's not Alabama, Georgia.
Keith
so
is-
it's
is-
interesting.
Yeah, I
making
agree.
accusations.
I 100%
Keith says
agree with
Notre
Keith
Dame
says.
fans are Cowboys, Lakers, and Yankees.
100%.
Absolutely.
It's like half of these Notre Dame fans probably don't even know where Notre Dame is. Half of them haven't been to college. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
Answer this question. What conference is Notre Dame in? Answer that.
Big Ten.
Trick question.
Answer that.
Trick question.
No, they're not in the conference. Are they?
No comment.
I got you.
They're Big Ten.
I got
They're
this
other
guy,
sports. They're
but he's a
independent
Penn
for
State
football.
guy, so he doesn't know that.
Can you name the 7 colleges whose names are
Air
not
Force.
plural?
no.
Damn.
What?
Like the Stanford Cardinal. It's not plural.
Oh.
Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Alabama Crimson Tide? Is that?
That's 3.
I had S to everything. So
All right.
I can't do this.
Let's talk about this after.
With a half Philly native panel, that's impossible.
I had an S.
He said he had to ask everything.
But no, I do agree with what Mark said. When Mark said that it's kind of like it's like one of these old throwbacks. Like when we were growing up in like the the 90s, 80s, early, like we would see these like big bowl games of like the Notre Dames, the Penn States, the
whatever.
Nebraska.
Yeah, but
The
now
Ramblin' Wreck,
it's all
there you
like
go.
now it's
Okay.
like you got a million effing bowl games, and like they all mean absolutely nothing.
Bowling Green.
They got to get rid of half of these bowl games. By the way, it's ridiculous.
Put some respect on the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Hey,
All right.
real quick.
They bring out a real life Pop-Tart.
Green Wave.
Life
There you go.
size. It's amazing.
The non-plural names are streaming in, so this is good. That was fun. That would have been fun.
UMass Minutemen.
The whole college bowl
Man is
series
plural,
is
not a football team.
it's another thing that's out of control. Like with Cooper Sharp. I was looking
Correct,
today and
Sylvie,
see
that's
how
what
many
Joe
bowl
Thomas
games do you guys think there were this year?
132.
Wait,
36.
that 40.
God, I will say that the bowl games. I think the college playoffs has been awesome so far.
The
And I think-
playoff part's good, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about like in general, like there's 47 bowl games.
Oh,
yeah,
You got 6 and 6 teams playing in bowl games.
I
There's a
I love
was
it.
looking through
That's
it.
the last time these kids are ever going to play, man.
yeah, that's
Like, this
fine,
is
but like
their
half of these kids aren't even
game.
playing because they got NFL, like
I like
too many
it.
bowl
games.
Way
I
too
like it because
many.
you come home and you just flip on TV and there's just football on.
Here's the most
That's-
ridiculous bowl game I saw. Right, I was looking through the list of them. It is the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by
No
Gin and
Snoop
Juice.
slander here.
I would
man.
love to be there. I'd be
Snoop
fried out of my
slander.
mind.
And when you're getting down to that point,
that should be the national fucking championship.
Yes, thank you. Get out of here. Huh?
Now listen, I think
that is the fucking national champion.
we got into a lot of good stuff here. First
Sorry to bring
episode.
that up at the end. I just
Hey,
wanted to talk about
all good. First episode of 2025. A lot of good energy. I'm asking you guys to really lock in this year. All right,
Let's
we're gonna
go.
take this thing to the next level. We got a new setup tonight, new and improved setup. I thought
like
that was
it.
pretty nice. I think you guys did a good job over there.
Oh,
Thank you.
okay, call it the think
Um,
tank. We have to come up with another name
Meet you
for
with
the
the-
sexy
meet
beasts
you
over
with the-
here.
Okay. So listen, I'm going to ask you guys all, if you're paying attention to this, to do me a favor as we try to have a great 2025 and do more fun stuff for you, like the tailgate and have parties and all that stuff. If you can like and subscribe at City Pigeons Pod
Don't forget
on
to share.
that's Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're
Tell
going
a
to try to do
friend.
some TikTok stuff.
Tell
You
a
know,
friend.
it could be good. Facebook, whatever the hell it is. And then, YouTube, like, subscribe. These episodes are going to be available on Spotify. Is great, right? You can watch the video episode on Spotify. You can listen. You can
Yeah,
listen
I would
around.
watch us. The
Do me a
cheese fry.
favor. Tell a friend. You know what I mean? Let's get
Leave
more
a
people in the
review. Put a
community.
5-star
Yeah,
review
leave a
on
review.
Spotify. Put it on
Why have you
Apple.
not left a review?
Review.
I mean, provided it's going to be a good one, and you don't write like these guys talked about cheese for 25 minutes. It was the worst content that I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
So
just
please,
cheese. Overall, review us.
we're trying to take this thing to the next level this year. Okay, so if
Yeah.
you're ready, jump in with us.
Next 100.
I promise you this: if we start to really gain some new momentum in 2025, I will try my best to come up with some new things that we can get together and have fun. Watch.
I'll get a
games.
city pigeon
Let
tattooed on my
parties,
ass when we get
choose
1,000
together.
YouTube subscribers.
Oh.
Yo, did you hear that?
400 away.
Think said if we get 1,000 YouTube subscribers, he's going to get a City Pigeons tattoo on his ass.
That's gonna come
Live on episode
That's gonna come
120.
back and
Let's
bite
go.
me. I should've-
And he'll get a Fighting Irish on.
An hour and 7 minutes into the show, you decided to ruin yourself and say,
All right, listen.
I
Look,
could have got away without saying anything.
Yeah.
this is the best. We got a playoff run coming. Something to look
Birds.
forward to here this weekend. We hope that keeps going for the next couple weeks.
Fired up.
We're looking forward to seeing everybody there.
A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!